So let's hop over to today's agenda. So first, we will go through an overview of Lead United from Jason Hiller. Then we will move into our Step into the Shoes of Your Neighbor activity. Then we will be following that with Augie, who is our United Way of Dane County 2-in-1 program director, to hear about the 2-in-1 program. And if time permits, we'll go into some Q&A. So with that, I will hand it over to Jason Hiller, our Lead United Council co-chair, to share with you more about Lead United.
Thanks, Andrea. Good morning, everybody. Thanks again for joining us. So for those of you that are newer to the group, we wanted to give you a little bit of overview of Lead United. So as Andrea mentioned, Lead United was formed in 2020 and is rooted in our former United Way of Dane County leadership giving groups, formerly Rosenberry Society and Key Club. Together as Lead United, we have created a simplified structure and clarified our purpose, and we're leveraging lessons that we learned from seeing the power of peer-to-peer connection, as well as offering more compelling events. One of our goals in creating Lead United was to remove barriers such as age restrictions and to combine the efforts of both groups into one unified, inclusive network of donors. Everyone is welcome to join Lead United, and we encourage all of you to join us. Membership is automatic with a minimum gift of just $1 a day. So thank you again for your gift. When you're part of Lead United, you're going to create measurable change by raising essential funds to help tackle Dane County's toughest issues in the areas of education, income, and health, the building blocks of our community's well-being. You'll learn about the root causes of our community's most critical issues and the work being done to address them, like our event today. You'll have the opportunity to develop leadership skills and to connect with business and community leaders through our networking and philanthropy. And lastly, you'll get to join events like these that can deepen your understanding of the needs in our community and understand how your gift to United Way of Dane County is helping meet those needs. So welcome to Lead United. We are so happy that you are here.
Thank you, Jason. Now we'll get into our activity for today. So we are going to be going into some breakout groups to do the activity called Step into the Shoes of Your Neighbor. You will be assigned a persona, and we will use this persona while answering the questions throughout the discussion. So the following personas will be in your group, and you will be assigned one of them. So person A, you are a single mother in the restaurant industry. Person B, you are recently a furloughed employee. Person C, you operate a nonprofit sheltering families. Person D, you are an 85-year-old living on your own with no family nearby. Person E, you are an 8-year-old without permanent housing. And person F, you are a healthcare worker with 2 children. So you'll be assigned those roles when you get into your breakout group. There will be a facilitator leading your discussion and be able to answer any questions you have. So Haley, if you can help get us set up for those breakout groups, and we will come back in 25 minutes or so. So we'll see you back shortly after 9 o'clock.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, so I did a little bit of switching around. Oh no, people just dropped out of 4. We lost people.
Oh no.
We lost a lot of people actually. Groups are going down to 3 people. Shoot. They were all 4 or 5.
If they're 3, that's okay.
I mean, they're 2 participants and 1 facilitator. They'll still have a conversation. They can get more in depth about how it's impacting them. They can do it.
Perfect.
And then I had to do a last minute switch where I threw, oh no. There were 7 people in room 5 because there was a few staff. And now it's down to 1 member and 3 staff members.
Oh, it's okay.
Because Peyton asked that if we had to combine groups that she does not facilitate.
Yeah.
And so then I put Elise with hers because Elise didn't have any members.
Okay. Oh Lord, it's stressful. And I the Zoom part, I don't know how to share without it like looking like without it covering my whole screen.
Mm.
You know, in Teams when you can like do the outline border, it doesn't like, I couldn't figure that out.
We cut down to 20 people.
That's so weird. I wonder why people dropped off.
I don't know.
You know?
Yeah. I do find that, oh, Augie's here.
Hi, Augie. What'd you say, Haley?
Peyton just asked, is it right that I'm in a room with Elise, Ann, and Danny? I said 5 people just dropped off. I feel like whenever we go into breakouts, we lose people, but we
Yeah.
typically do it towards the end. That I always thought it was because, you know, they're like, oh, I don't need to stay, whatnot. But
Yeah.
this is like the activity.
Right, and they were like given the heads up that that's what we were doing.
Yeah, that you'll be in a small group.
Right.
So I don't know. Yeah, most of these groups are 3 people, which I mean could be better, but
Yeah.
they were all 4 to 5, and then the one group was 7 because I quickly threw Elise, and Peyton's group was the one room that actually everybody joined. Oh, here's somebody else. Julie, where's Julie?
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
My iPad is circling. It says waiting, and I do not hear anything. It looks like I am joined, but it's still waiting.
Welcome, Julie. We just started the breakouts. So if it's okay with you, we're going to put you in a breakout room. Right now, they are just going over some of the questions and beginning the step into the shoes of your neighbor discussion.
Okay, thanks.
Augie, we can still hear you okay.
Oh, that's good. I don't see anything other than, you know, myself.
Okay.
But if you can hear me, that's great. I may not be able to follow the slides, but when I'm talking, you know, you can just follow with the appropriate slide.
Right. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do my best.
Yeah. So I think it's pretty easy to recognize which slide I'm talking about.
Right, right.
Maybe I just log out and log back in very quick.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
We went to this bakery yesterday to film the instructions for our Pi Day event.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
Really? I saw that on your guys' calendar. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, Justin was great. He just shared so much about the program, and then like he shared his own personal experience.
Yeah.
And it was really cool.
Yeah, I always like, I mean, obviously I love a lot of programs, but like I'm like, I really love that program and they're
Yeah.
so talented. Did you guys get treats?
So he made the pie, so Peyton actually took the pie home. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So
That
I'm
is
waiting for an update from her of how it was.
right. Oh my gosh. She's gonna need it after this. I feel like I don't know. Do these all like, I feel like these things always like I plan for them and then for whatever reason I just get razzled like right before.
Yeah. I'm a hit or miss whether I am or not.
Yeah. So will the pie class, so you'll be showing the recording, is that how that'll work?
Yeah, so we weren't sure. They have like a big brick building and they get like hit or miss Wi-Fi and service in there. So we didn't want it to like fall apart.
Yeah.
So we pre-recorded it, but then Justin's gonna be there walking through the steps and then answering questions.
Cool. I love that.
The person that had just joined, they must have dropped off immediately.
Oh, that is so weird.
Mm-hmm. Augie's back.
Okay, it's working now.
Good. We can't see you though. Do you just have your camera off?
Yeah, I tried without the camera just to make sure.
Mm-hmm.
But now here I am, so everything is working.
It's okay, perfect. And so for most of it, I will show the slideshow and then like, ouch, so sorry. Oh my God. I will at the end spotlight you. And for questions, Augie, we'll read them to you from the chat.
Okay, that's great. Let me just, the computer needs to be no volume on my computer, so not going to disturb me.
Perfect. And Haley, would everyone come back? Did we send, like, were we on track or would they come back a little early?
We have, last time I checked, it was 16 minutes left.
Okay, perfect.
So it's very close.
Yeah, right on schedule.
15 minutes and 30 seconds, so we're right on schedule.
Haley, how are you doing? I feel like everybody probably asks you that, so feel free to skip if you would like to, if you don't want to answer, but.
No, I'm good. I mean, most of the time, like, no problems.
Yeah.
So I definitely like don't have a big stomach or anything. Like if you saw me, you'd probably just think I ate a big burrito. So.
Oh, really?
What are you talking about?
I'll
Is
be
there
out on
something
maternity.
exciting?
Yeah, I'll be out on maternity leave in June.
Yeah. Congratulations. This is virtual work. We don't get to see each other.
I know, it's weird.
I did not notice anything.
I didn't even tell like our department until what, like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, it was pretty recent. Did you tell Steve early on or did you? Okay.
Yeah, I was puking constantly.
Oh.
So if you notice, like for the last few months, well, more recent, it hasn't been bad, but like right away, I couldn't be on camera because I would have to puke. And
yeah.
I spent half my meetings either in bed or in the bathroom.
Oh no.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, and so was that like your first trimester or second? Yeah.
Yeah, first and then half of second. So now I finally hit third. So it's kind of crazy.
That's crazy. Oh, so super exciting though.
Yeah, it is. I'll say like the baby has really started kicking like a ton.
Yeah.
And yesterday was the first day that my stomach, you could just like see it bouncing from the outside.
Yeah.
Like, it's so hard to pay attention during these meetings.
Right. Oh my God, I love it. I love it. Zach's having a baby too in June, so you guys will have United Way twins.
You know.
Augie, when does Rachel get back?
Next Monday.
Oh, next Monday. Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That went
She's-
fast.
Yes, it did go very fast. I don't know how she feels about that.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you're thankful, Augie, though, because you've been working like a dog.
Yeah, it will be nice to share some
I
of the
bet.
burdens.
Yeah.
Actually, she may not even know it yet. We will have a meeting later today because we have to make the final decision for a new hire. So we are going to get a new staff, and we just finished interviewing yesterday. So the
Oh,
four of us, John, Christina, Rachel, and I will get together later today. But what I did here is that on Monday, Michaela, we will be announced again in the media at 10 o'clock to call us for vaccines and to register for vaccines. And so it is partially true and not. So there will be a phone triage, and our main number is going to filter towards an extension where people can get vaccinated
wow.
or can get questions regarding that new online tool where people can get sign up.
Yeah.
But you know how it is when, and it's not 211 will be announced, but our 10-digit number that starts with 877. But that is actually 211. Now, people need to go through the 10-digit number and then listen to the prompt.
Yeah.
That if they need assistance with food, blah, 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 call this. If it's with COVID registration, call that. And you know how that goes when you hear a number like that, you just like press the buttons, especially if the registration line is going to be busy and you don't get through, they start again, pressing a different one.
Yeah.
So we don't know it yet what to expect, but the state 211 Wisconsin already told that we will see a huge sudden increase in call volume suddenly. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
That will be on Rachel's first day.
Oh, good Lord. That's crazy.
And, I'm just wondering how that will flow. If we get the call, we are not dealing with it. We just need to transfer to a different extension where people were actually coming from, opted out if there's a wait there.
Right.
So it just can create some frustration, unfortunately.
Well, and I just remember, I mean, even during, and it's still COVID, but when we were taking the COVID calls, it's like, it's sometimes like there's a plan in place and then it kind of drops off on the other end. So I'm hoping that they're ready to get all these calls too. You know?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Oh,
And some call centers, that's also confusing. And they are not announced as 211, but their 10-digit number. Some call centers are opting in to register. I don't know if they really know what they will be doing.
Yeah.
But,
right. Yeah. Oh Lord. Are you guys still helping Milwaukee?
No, we had to drop that. So we are not able to increase our hours. So Friday, we would theoretically be taking calls from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and we stay with the same 7 to 6 to help them out. And, it's interesting because I do see some drop this week and last week. And I think it is like the waiting for the storm to come.
Yeah.
The silence before a huge storm.
Right.
So,
yeah. Oh,
yeah. So enjoy the moment. We are just enjoying the moment. And
right.
we don't know how long it lasts.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah. Scenarios I read through pretty neat. This exercise that you are doing right now.
It's really cool. And Haley actually helped create it because we used it during campaign. So I mean, I think it's really neat and hopefully, I think people will find benefit. I remember, I think we did it actually during campaign and it was a lot of, not fun, but it was really to do.
Eye-opener. Eye-opening.
Next conversation and really just gets you thinking outside your own world.
Right.
Yeah, we first used it at Cabinet last year, right during onboarding for the Cabinet members, so around March or April, right when the pandemic hit. So at that point, it was like brand new, and everybody's like, whoa, this is why this is so important this year. And then we created it as an engagement with that facilitation guide that companies could actually use with their employees. So it's something that, like, for instance, Steve used it with all of the American Girl kickoffs. And what he did is he just prompted the questions, like, now imagine you're this person. So instead of assigning each one, so it was very adaptive to whatever each department or company needed.
Right, right. No, that makes sense. And that's the part where, like, even in this scenario, I mean, the breakouts are not, people seem to love breakouts. Like, at least that's like the feedback I get through Lead United. But I'm like, you just mentioning that now too, Haley, I'm like, I'm curious if, like, you know, if it is a smaller group, if it is good to have, like, you know, just conversations around, like, now imagine you're this person, and, like, type in the chat or unmute yourself and say, like, what you know, what troubles you may be facing. That's interesting.
Yeah, just depending on the group size, it can work as a big group, it can work as these small groups.
Right, right. Oh, that's crazy.
Okay, I have the call queued up. So when we get back, so once the PowerPoint's done and you queue me up, just remember to end your share screen.
Perfect, yes. And I will get the share screen going. Oh, oops. And oops, there we go. Augie, Andrea will introduce you and then you'll get started.
Okay. So I think I sent you a note that I would introduce myself with the camera on, obviously. And then during the slides, I would just turn the camera off if that's okay.
Perfect. That's great. When I pause share, so I'm going to pause this. Is it now showing like people talking or like this? No, it just shows a black screen.
It's still the step into the shoes of your neighbor.
I see. Oh, Lord. Okay. That is nuts. But then if I do that, okay. Play.
How many participants do we have?
So 43 signed up, 30 were on the call, but then a couple dropped off. So maybe not as many as we'd like, but.
Hi, James. Welcome.
Hi.
We are just finishing up the group discussions. There's about 3 minutes left. If you'd like, I can throw you into one of those breakouts so you can hear the discussions going on. And then
Sure.
we'll hear from 211 in just a minute.
Okay.
I was muted. There's a minute left, and then they have a minute to wrap up their conversations and then come back.
Awesome. Thank you.
So they might start in the next 50 seconds. Otherwise, let's wait the full 2 minutes for them to get back.
Perfect. Thank you.
And that puts us a minute ahead of schedule, so we're good.
Wonderful.
We'll give everyone a few minutes to get back here. Looks like people are just starting to pop in.
It's always so amazing how quickly time goes when you're in breakout rooms.
Right.
Mhm. All right. Well, welcome back, everyone. I hope you found that activity and the discussions as powerful as I did. I know we had some really great conversations and insights in our group. And just to remind you, these aren't just hypothetical situations. These are real people, real calls that 211 receives every day. 211 is a call resource that anyone can use 24/7 to get connected to resources such as food assistance, help paying bills, housing assistance, community clinics, and many other services. So now we'll hear from Augie, the United Way of Dane County's 211 Program Director, on the needs of our community. So welcome, Augie.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. I hope you are all enjoying this morning and the beautiful sunshine and have some eye-opening conversations. So I would like to introduce myself briefly, and after that I will turn my camera off and we'll talk about 211. So I have been working with United Way for 14 years, started as a volunteer when I moved to Madison from Hungary, looking for a job suitable for my social work background. I started volunteering with 211, and 2 years later, I got hired by United Way. Though 211 was not originally what I was looking for as a future career, I found this to be a great fit to my educational background, as well as passion to help my new community. So that's about me. And actually, I'm not a director, I'm a program manager with 211. But now I would like to continue and turn my camera off, and I would like to ask Michaela, I see, thank you, Michaela, to start the presentation. So today I will be talking about a 3-digit number to reach out to when you simply don't know where else to turn. When I give a presentation, I often find that my audience, even if familiar with our local services, doesn't always know much about our national history. So 211 is actually a service that started in 1997 in Atlanta and have grown to cover over 94% of the US population, providing 24/7 access to resources such as food, housing, healthcare, transportation, legal services, public benefits, addiction issues, or even volunteering and donations. Our standards protocols are guided by the Alliance of Information and Referral Services that also provides accreditations for 211 services, as well as information referral specialists and resource managers staffing 211s. How do we connect with United Ways? The majority of 211s are actually internal to their local United Ways, just like us in Dane County, or at least funded by United Ways. Now, our local service area reaches beyond Dane County, as you can see on that map. 211 Wisconsin also assigned Rock, Iowa, Greene, Lafayette, Columbia, and sub-counties to our call center. We also closely work with 211 Wisconsin and the other call centers in the state. We provide statewide services in times of disasters, just like flooding. Unfortunately, we had that in the past few years, or in public health emergencies, just like right now, when we are operating the COVID-19 helpline. But we also provide addiction recovery helpline for statewide callers. So sometimes, most of the time, we handle local calls, obviously, in our service area, but we do reach out and are available for people calling from throughout the state in case of disasters or addiction issues. Additionally to calls, people in need of help can chat, send a text message, or search our online database. So as I mentioned, we provide 24/7 services, and by sharing a statewide database and phone system, we can easily serve all callers from the state, as we have access to resources in each county. As we use internet and cloud-based technology, even before COVID-19, we were ready and sometimes were working from home. Last March, 211 Wisconsin partnered with the state health department and local public health agencies to provide a call center answering general COVID-19 questions from statewide callers, ranging from how to prevent the disease, how it spreads, what are the stay-at-home and mask orders, when and how to quarantine, where to get tested, and now vaccinated. As a result of the pandemic, and also a result of serving the entire state, our call center experienced a huge call volume on a daily basis, 2 or 3 times higher than in 2019. So you can see the March jump, and then we definitely stay above the orange line, indicating 2019. As a result, although our highest number of referrals are usually related to food, and it is related to COVID, unfortunately, we saw a 100% increase in the number of housing-related needs, mostly rent assistance, people who get laid off, lost their jobs, businesses closed, and they were struggling to pay rent, mainly became the major concern last year. Our top referrals in 2020 were food, housing, healthcare, and utility assistance. Food and housing were pretty much equal, and then spread it out among other needs. We are very proud to say that even with increased call volume and increased stress level and needs of callers, we were able to maintain our professionalism, and callers rated their satisfaction with our services pretty high, over 87%. It's a little bit less than in 2019 or 2020. Sorry, 2019, but 2020, 87%, we consider still pretty high. We have a automated survey after the initial call, a couple minutes after the call, for callers who opt in to give feedback on the services we provide. And this is how we can measure the satisfaction rate for our services. Uh, 211, COVID-19 response. So I would like to make sure you all know how to find the database online on the United Way website. You see the orange tab and the Get Help on the top of the tab. And if you open that, you can select 211. By selecting 211, you can search our database and selecting a category under the blue boxes. We have different categories, different types of needs. And if you open one of those boxes, it will actually scroll down to narrow it to be more specific to different types of needs. And you can just click on any of those to see the result, what agencies or services are available to respond to a specific need. Our local office traditionally relies on volunteer help. So though our staff always took more calls, we really appreciate the help we get from volunteers. Unfortunately, with our office closing, we lost our volunteers until we took over the statewide volunteer management from 211 Wisconsin and continued the recruitment and training COVID-19 volunteers. Right now, we have about 25 volunteers taking COVID calls. COVID-19 changed our volunteer coverage, but we also experienced a lot of first-time callers who never had to reach out for help before. The following recording is about a real call, or actually a few real calls combined. Due to the confidentiality, caller confidentiality, we decided to record or replay a couple of COVID-related calls that are very typical these days.
Thanks for calling United Way's 211. This is Mona. How can I help you?
Hi, I need to file an appeal for unemployment.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't get accepted or anything, but I don't know how it works. I never have done it before, so I'm basically like freaking out because I can't afford to feed my kids right now. So, yeah.
Okay, sure. So what I can do is sign you up for the Unemployment Appeals Clinic. There's one opening left this coming Monday. Would you like to take that?
Yeah, is it over the phone?
It is over the phone.
Okay, yeah, I would take that.
Okay, great. So they're going to call you on Monday at 6 p.m. Make sure you have everything related to your case on hand, and they will help you prepare for your appeals hearing.
Okay.
All right, so they'll explain the process, what that looks like, and in some instances, they can attend the hearing with you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Are you okay on everything else? You mentioned having a hard time with food. Would you maybe like some information on food share or food pantries?
I have food stamps and Badger Care, so I could use some help with like other food. Also, my electricity is about to get shut off, so that's just insane. It's like everything is happening at once and I don't know what to do.
Aww.
Sorry. it's just really difficult right now.
Yeah, I can tell. Okay. Well, so there is a place that's called Energy Services, and they oftentimes help with utility bills. Have you tried connecting with them?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Well, give them a call for sure. Their number is 608-333-0333.
Okay.
Okay, and there's another place actually too. It's called the DIGS program. They can help with utilities. They take calls on Tuesday and Thursday mornings between 8:30 and 9 a.m. and their number is 608-252-8522. I also have some pretty specific resources for folks having a hard time due to COVID-19. So do you have access to texting?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
If it's okay, I'll text you those resources since a lot of them are web-based.
Okay.
And then do you also need help with rent?
No, I'm good on rent for now.
Okay, so as for food, have you ever used the River Food Pantry? It looks like they're in your area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I used to volunteer there.
Oh, cool. Well, so they've actually changed their hours due to COVID-19, so they're open now Tuesday through Friday between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m.
Okay.
And it's also drive up, so you won't even have to go in the building.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, sure thing. And we're available 24/7. So if you need other food pantries or do find you need help on your rent or really like any other resources, just give us a call and we're happy to tell you what's available.
Okay. Thank you so much. That's really nice.
All right. You're welcome. You have a nice day.
Thanks. You too. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye now.
So yes, that's how many call actually flows. Someone calls for one need and then it leads to several other needs. We do not usually stop when someone is calling for a particular service or referral, but with some additional questions, we can dig a little bit deeper and find out some underlying issues, causes that we can address and provide additional referrals for. So I think that a little bit continues this call to your earlier breakout sessions and discussions, stepping into your neighbor's shoes. I think by listening to this recording, you can have a good sense of what's happening with your neighbors right now, and also what's happening when they call to 211. As I mentioned, our volunteers stopped volunteering, and we are just in the middle of reworking volunteer training and recruitment to find remote volunteer help. I think one of the last slides are like, if you'd like to help or we need you, that's talking about or indicating that we are going to rework the volunteer recruitment and looking for virtual volunteers at this time. Now that we need to prepare for additional office closing, or at least just ready for the future and maybe just rethink how the future volunteerism look like. We were thinking that we could potentially recruit volunteers that can work, who can work from their homes and assist with 211 calls. That volunteer post will be listed on volunteeryourtime.org. I think that was my section of talking about 211. I hope that you learned something new that you were not familiar with before. And if you have any questions, I really would like to be available either right now or share. You can see my information shared. Please reach out to me anytime. Any questions now?
Thank you so much, Augie. Excuse me. I'm looking here in the chat to see if there's any questions. I'm not seeing any pop up, but does anybody have any questions for Augie? We do have time for a couple if interested. Feel free to type them in the chat or unmute yourself and ask Augie directly.
What kind of time commitment do you ask of your volunteers? I imagine the training is pretty in-depth. So is there a certain
Yes.
number of hours a week you're looking for, or?
Very good question. Thank you so much for asking that. Volunteers, we do require volunteers to work one call shift, which is 4 hours long a week. So as time commitment, once someone is trained, is 4 hours a week. And we would like about 1 year commitment, just because of what you said, that the training is very lengthy and in details. We provide database training, phone training, and different aspects of an INR service that actually I mentioned, the Alliance of Information Referral Services, our professional umbrella organization that requires from us to do. So that is up to 30 hours of training time. We did modify our training already. So many of the training components are online, and some are in person or can be done in person virtually. So one-on-ones, the first call taking is always with someone assisting the person who is taking the call. With these modern technologies, we are actually able to join the call without the caller knowing that. We can do that. We have our protocol for training purposes. We are able to monitor and shadow real calls and assist the call taker that way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great
Thank you.
information there. We do have time for another question if somebody has
I have
one.
a question, Mikhail. Augie, how do you find resources? Do they come to you asking to be listed, or do you search for them? And if you do, like, what sort of vetting do you do of these? How do you get the right resources in 211?
Yeah, also very good question. Thank you for asking that. We have a couple resource managers working with us, and we also have an exclusion protocol that we are required to have in place. So that's a guideline for us, what sort of agency we can include in the database. Basically, any nonprofit or government agencies or faith-based organizations that provide assistance to the larger community, not just for their congregation, or for-profits as well, if they are providing services, sliding fee scale services for low-income people. So these are the agencies who we look out for. And how do we get to know them? Yes, sometimes they come to us, new agencies sometimes call 211 that I would like to be listed. And then we have an interview with them to make sure that they match to our inclusion exclusion criteria. And we also are part of many networking in the community. So we actually keep our eyes and ears open if there is something new. And that also relates to how we maintain the information that we already have. We update our database annually. We are required to do so. There's an automated process for agencies to update their information with us. If we don't hear from them, then the phone calls come in place. Obviously, we do need to reach out to them actively to make sure that their information is accurate. And then in times of COVID, we have additional database work when we have to touch pretty much all agencies and services that we have in our database to make sure that we understand how they operate these days.
Awesome, Augie. Thank you so much for answering those questions. All great questions coming in. And if you think of one after the fact, feel free to email us. Otherwise, I'm going to hand it back over to Andrea to close out our event this morning.
Well, thank you, Augie. I learned so much about 211 from what you shared, and just that short call example was really powerful in hearing the struggles and how scary it is for some of the people in our community, and how the pandemic has affected them and their families, and even outside of the pandemic, how some of these situations arise and all the resources that get connected through the 211 calls. So thank you all for attending today. It's gifts like yours for Lead United that keep programs like 211 going in our community. United Way continues to help connect resources and people throughout Dane County. As part of Lead United, we will continue to host educations like these quarterly. In March, you can join United Way as part of the virtual community celebration. In April, we'll have some volunteer opportunities as part of Seasons of Caring. And in May, we'll be hosting our next Lead United education event that'll focus on professional development. So please watch our monthly newsletter to sign up for upcoming events and volunteer opportunities. And then lastly, how can you help? So together, join us on social media. We're on Facebook and Instagram. We'll put some links into the chat as well to connect to those groups. But how you can help us is by sharing the graphic like Michaela has on the screen right now, sharing what you learned today and why you continue to support Lead United. We find sharing that information out in the community is a really powerful way to help link people together. And so we'll also follow up with a graphic and some of that information in an email so that you can connect as you have time. So thank you everyone for joining us today. Really appreciate your time this morning. And together we have the power of many working for all. So have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Good job, everybody.
Yeah, it went well. What did our attendance end up being?
So it was up to like 30 some. That's with volunteers and staff. But then as soon as the breakout rooms opened, we dropped down to 20.
Yeah, that's weird. Do you think people were like, oh, I don't want to do this and then left? Or do you think it was a tech thing?
I don't know. I mean, I've done a lot of breakout groups and I've never had like that many people drop off.
Right.
The weird part is like we advertised the activity, like people knew.
Yeah.
So that's the part that I find really weird. Yeah, and like 43 people had signed up, so even like 10 people did not show. Crazy. Yeah, thank you guys so much though. I mean, it went really well, and luckily we have a recording and stuff, so maybe that's how people prefer to take this in. Do you guys see this does this happen with like ECMs, or like what has your experience been with like?
I feel like ECMs are a little different because they're more engaged typically.
Yeah.
Like they have a more like stake in the game.
Right.
They kind of have like a job to do almost with the work that they're doing. So they look at it as like, this is gonna help me do what I need to do.
I think we had like at the ECM, we had 27 people register and I think 22 or 23 show up.
Okay.
Just ECMs, not any staff members or anything.
That makes sense. That's good turnout. Yeah.
Yeah, so about 10%. I would say it's maybe 10 to 15% is pretty standard for like the campaign team workshop. There you have like less involved ECMs, so we get more like no-shows, but
Oh, well, it went well overall, and I'm grateful that you guys were able to help and that we have the recording. So thank you. And yeah, I think that's it. Have a good day.
Sounds good. Thanks, you too.
Bye, guys.
You'll have to edit the recording before you do anything with it to cut out that middle section.
Yeah, perfect. I'll get that sent over to Adrian. Stephanie already said that she had time to cut it and put it on YouTube.
Okay.
So yeah, we should be good to go there.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Guys.